Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. I'm just about to head up this hill behind me. It's quite a muddy path up this hill. It's not a very steep hill. It goes on for a little bit. But before I do, I'd like to start with a joke, if I may. Hopefully some of you guys will appreciate this. There's a photographer who goes to a dinner party, and at the dinner party the host approaches the photographer and says, I've seen some of your photos, they look really good, you must have a very expensive camera. And the photographer ignores this comment, and then after the meal's finished, the host is wandering around the table collecting all the dirty plates and dishes up, and the photographer leans into the host out of earshot of everybody else and says, "That was a delicious meal. You must have a very expensive stove." Now I'm going to head up this hill. I'll see you at the top. I made it to the top of that hill. I'm really feeling that as well. The last 7 days the UK has been battered, and I mean severely battered, by 3 very, very strong winter storms, and they've rattled through now. We've still got a bit of a breeze and a little bit of rain every now and then, but I haven't been out for over a week and I can feel my lack of exercise. I've just tried to climb that hill, so I've had to stop and take a bit of a rest here, but I'm glad I did. I'll get into the video properly in just a moment, but I'm going to move on and see if I can find my first composition, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that little joke. Look at the sun on my face. I hope you enjoyed that little joke. It serves as a way of saying how sometimes non-photographers, in this case the host at the dinner party, don't often understand the work and the effort that goes into making a photograph. I was reading some of the comments from some of my subscribers a few weeks ago, and one of my subscribers was saying to me they appreciate how I talk you through the shots that I'm taking, and explain the composition and what I was thinking and why I like that particular shot. That's something that I do quite a lot. I think it's important to let you know the story of the photo and why I was taking it, because without that story it's just a photo at the end of the day. So I kind of make sure I do that with most of my shots if I can, and I think that's really important, because it's not the gear, the amount of money that you spend on gear and what you do with it that matters. It's the story that you are telling with your camera. So if I'm going out somewhere and I take my camera with me, it doesn't matter if I've got a really cheap old camera that's on its last legs, or if I've got a really expensive camera that's brand new, and it's cost me a mortgage to buy. What matters is the story, the image, and the result of that story. I've come to this spot here today, and there's a tree behind me with a path running next to it here, and then there's another little path this side going down this way as well. Don't ask me why it's got the number 7 on the trunk of the tree. I've got no idea. It's just been chalked on. But I quite like this image with this tree and the 2 paths running away either side of it. So I'm going to set up here and take this shot. I think I want the tree to be on the one side of the image, so that where these branches come out, they're leaning into the image, so you've got a bit of balance and a bit of shape and frame into the shot itself. So I'll set up here and take this shot. Well guys, this is embarrassing, very embarrassing in fact. My battery's going, so I'm going to have to switch cameras. So I'll be back in a bit. So I've made a bit of a move. I've had to switch cameras, so apologies if the focus on this particular bit of footage isn't up to scratch. The autofocus on this camera isn't anywhere near as good as it is on the other camera. But I've been stood here for the last 10 minutes or so trying to look at this tree behind me. I don't know if I can pick it up on this camera. Let me just try and see what I can do. yeah, there's a tree somewhere here behind me, somewhere over here just on its own, and I quite like the way the light falls on that tree, so I'm hoping to try and get a shot of that tree with basically the top part of the tree illuminated by the blue sky behind it, and the sunlight from the other side illuminating all the branches of the trees and the trunk of the tree. But I've got to try and find the perfect spot to compose this image, and I think it's probably a few feet away from here, just standing somewhere in that direction. So I'll go and set this shot up and take this now. So did any of you notice just then that there's a twisted irony in what I was trying to say back there, in that it doesn't matter about the cost of your equipment, what equipment you are using. What matters most is the story that you're trying to tell with your images, and that was a perfect example of exactly what I was talking about. There's a slight twisted irony to what I had to do. I had to switch from my more expensive camera to a much cheaper camera because my battery had died, and I'd obviously forgotten to charge the batteries before I went out, and obviously I needed to switch the camera to continue doing this vlog. Hopefully it doesn't affect the vlog too much, and hopefully I'm going to still be able to get some decent images while I'm out here. But isn't that a bit of a joke, eh? What an absolute bell end. Anyway, I'm going to move on and see if I can find something else now. Well, I think I've just walked through a spot. I thought it was lost actually, but I've walked through a little spot and come out the other side of it and discovered that I'm in a spot where I was at the end of the autumn last year. So I've kind of come full circle a little bit, which is quite interesting. But whilst walking through that way, I think there might be a little bit of a composition that I haven't stopped to take yet. So that's just behind me, a little way back over that way. So I'm going to pop back over there, it's only 50 yards or so, and see if I can capture that shot. And I think that looks quite good as well, and I'll explain the shot to you when I get over there and show you the composition. So I've got the composition right here in front of me. I hope you can see that fairly well. There are these trees just here in the middle of the frame, and there's these trees at the edge and a couple of trees at this edge as well. And then on the floor in front of these trees there's quite a lot of woody litter that's been dropped because of the storms that we had last week, and that kind of emphasises the story really here. This is what I wanted to sort of talk to you about. It's creating a story out of an image, and this image here, this composition here in front of me with all of these trees and the fallen branches and leaves and things that were caused by the storms, that's the story of this particular image. I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to say really. Every image has a story, so with the images that I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to tell you a story of what has been going on, and that's why it really doesn't matter what kind of kit you use. It kind of helps me to kind of cement that story today by having to switch from a more expensive camera to a much cheaper camera. Okay, purely and simply because I forgot to charge my batteries in the first place. That's my bad, but it just shows you that being able to use any camera basically means that you can still get a very decent shot. So I hope you've enjoyed these images. I'm going to call it quits here for this vlog today, and if you have enjoyed these images, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.